Hello, welcome to my craft room. This week, you may have noticed, I have finished my Ranunculus. So this is the second Ranunculus that I have knit. I knit this one out of Drops Cotton Light, which is a 50% cotton, 50% polyester mix. And it is in the shade 28. But I'm going to call it mustard, so a dirty yellow. So yes, this is my Ranunculus. I knit the size small on 6mm needles, and so my gauge comes out smaller, but as you can see, it's still got plenty of room. I am a 38-inch bust, so there's plenty of room there in the size small. And I didn't aggressively block it or anything. I literally just soaked it and just smoothed it out to let it dry. And it took 300 grams of that yarn, so 6 balls because it comes in 50-gram balls. I just knit as in the pattern, but I did add on a little bit in the sleeves and on the length as well. So I'll show you a bit of the video with me standing up so you can see the length that I went for. So I went for a much longer length because that's what I'm comfortable with. The cast on for the neck, I just did a normal cable cast on. I didn't do anything special, and it comes out in the smallest size. It just comes out just a nice, comfortable for me, in enough to cover up the brass straps. I don't want it to be too big. I know the Ranunculus can have quite a big neckline, but I'm quite happy with this neckline. So yeah, just do a normal cable cast on and just keep it nice and simple. So that is the Ranunculus. Have I got anything else to say about it? I don't think I have. So no, I think everything said, everything about this pattern. The lace work on here is very nice and clear and yeah, easy to follow. It's not hard at all. I knew from the last one that it's very repetitive and easy to keep track of where you are. Yeah, so all I did on the sleeves was just do an extra little bit there, a few inches, so you can see where it comes down to. So it's just a nice comfortable length for sleeves. I think I do prefer my Ranunculus that I knit in the merino wool. I think I am a wool knitter, not a cotton knitter, and I do like this, but I think because it's cotton, it's more of a tighter twist. It's not got that little fluffiness that, because it is open, an open gauge, a big gauge. So this is DK weight on 6mm needles. I just think it just softens it and just makes it look a little bit tidier on the merino for me, for my knitting. So yeah, I'm glad I did it and I will be wearing it, but I would like to knit another one in a wool yarn for the winter. I'm thinking something like a red or green or something, but really nice. So yes, I would definitely be knitting another one. I can't think what, oh, the bell. So I have recently knit a Tolsta with the, oh, I think I've got it here because I'm going to talk about it later. So this is Drops Bell, this yarn, and I do prefer DK once again. I do prefer the Drops Bell to the Cotton Light. I think it just feels, I mean, they're both soft, so it's hard to say, isn't it? A feeling of, this just feels nicer to me than this one, and I just think there's not a sheen. It is still a matte, but for some reason I just like the look of the bell knit up more than the Cotton Light. So in future, if I was going to knit one of the Drops cotton yarns, I would go for the bell. I've also used the Muscat before, and I think that's 100% cotton, and I would definitely go for the bell. For me, I prefer the bell. So yeah, so it's nice to use them all because you don't know until you do use them. But yeah, going forward, when I have a summer garment, I want a cotton. If I'm going to use the drops, then I would go for the bell one. So yes, that is my preference. Is your preference different? If it is, let me know in the comments below. What do you think? As well as if you've got these and you've been washing and wearing them, how do they stand up? Does the bell stand up compared to the cotton light better or worse? Because that's another thing, consideration, isn't it, when you spend your time knitting, that it's not just what it looks like and feels like straight away after you knit it, but what's it actually going to look like at the end of the summer when you've been washing and wearing it quite a few times. So I'd be interested to know how you feel about that if you've knit with those. So moving on to the next project, I have a hoe, half a finished object. So this is just a plain vanilla sock, drops once again, but this time it's drops Nord. It is the alpaca and polyamide. Yes, 45% alpaca, 30% polyamide, 25% wool mix. And this is in a deep sort of berry raspberry colour. Once again, they don't give you a name, but it's number 17 is the colour. And I really love this colour, and I just wanted, because I love this yarn for socks, I just wanted a plain vanilla sock, and I do love it. So I should be casting the next one on. The toe, I do more of a square toe. This hasn't been blocked, it literally finished it off this morning. I do more of a square toe because I just use my 9-inch circulars. I use 2.25 9-inch circulars, and I use those for the toes as well. So I just reduce my 64 stitches down to 32 and then Kitchener the toes off at the end. So on the blocker it looks a bit square, off the blocker looks square, but on my toes it just bends to the shape of my wonky toes. So it's fine. I do a heel flap, turn and gusset because that's what fits my foot best. I've got high arch, so that means that I try and have a good length of the heel flap so that I have a couple of extra stitches, so I get more stitches here, which makes it a more comfortable fit for me. So yeah, just plain vanilla socks. Just got the one, need to knit another. So yesterday I was wearing my Chartres cardigan because we've had rain every day, and yeah, I just had a t-shirt on and then just put my Chartres cardigan on over the top, and I started to think about, because I was really enjoying wearing this. As I've always said, that the drops air on bare skin just feels really nice. So it made me think about my latest Chartres cardigan by Amy Lowden. Not because of the pattern, I love the pattern, it came up small in the body. I don't know why, what I did, but it was coming up small in the body and I couldn't think of what I was going to wear it with, and so I just wasn't feeling it, so I decided to stop knitting it. And then I was wearing that cardigan yesterday and thinking I really want to use that yarn. I don't want it to just languish, so what can I knit that into? So I was thinking about what can I wear, 'cause originally I was thinking about wearing this with like put over summer dresses or whatever, or t-shirts, and I said that because of the light colour, because it is, what's the alpaca content in this? It is 65% alpaca, 28 polyamide, 7 wool. And when I was wearing like a navy or a black t-shirt and knitting on this, I was getting a lot of hairs, so I thought, well, I'm not going to be able to wear it for anything like that. So when I was thinking in my wardrobe what I would wear it with, that's when I became more discouraged. So I thought, right, I thought because it's just plain, I didn't want it to be like a plain sweater because it'd be too bland, but then I thought actually it probably is going to be better as just a plain sweater. I don't want to have too much going on because with the alpaca you lose a lot of detail, and yeah, I just wanted to enjoy the yarn, so I thought, right, what I'm going to do is knit. I've recently knit the Tolsta Tee and really enjoyed that pattern by Creabea, so I thought I would knit that but with longer sleeves, but with an open, because it's a DK, I'll put a picture up, it's a DK sweater but it's knit on 5mm needles. The Drops Air is an Aran weight, so I thought if I knit a smaller size and 6mm needles, then I will have that light airiness, but in a sweater. And because I know I've got a shirt that's got a collar and it's like animal print, and I don't wear it very often because it feels like too loud. But I really love animal print. I thought, well, I could wear that with that and have the collar out, so I could have my little bit of animal print, but not be so out there for me. So I thought, yeah, then it wouldn't worry if I get the hairs on it, because that's going to be the blouse to go under that sweater. And so I can enjoy the blouse that I love and enjoy the sweater as well. So I've cast on, oh, this is the Tolsta. That's why I have this here. So I knit this in the drop spell, finished it a few weeks ago. And so it is just a simple raglan tee, as I said, in a very open drapey weight. So this is a DK on 5mm needles. I did the eyelets. The idea of the tee is that it's basic, so you can put any sort of decoration you wanted, but I'm just going to follow it as the pattern and just have normal increases for the Drops Air. So it's just a simple top down sweater, but I'm going to have long sleeves because I've got enough yarn, I hope, for long sleeves. So yeah, so I have cast on. So I have gone for the smallest size because the neck comes up quite big on those ones. So I thought I'd cast on the smallest size. So this is the, how many did I cast on? I've been writing, I'm going to write down on the back what I do so that I can tell you. But yeah, don't go by what I'm doing because I'm making this up as I go along. So I'm aiming for a 40-inch chest. So I've cast on the small, which should be, so I've cast on the Drops Air. It's a blown alpaca, and I've cast on 96 stitches, which is the recommended for the smallest size. The last one I knit the third size. So, but don't worry, this is just on a small circular. And I have got a skinny neck and a pinhead, so I know that I don't need sort of have a lot of stitches for mine. So I am sure this is going to fit. So yeah, I'm aiming for a 40-inch chest. So what I'm going to do is just follow the increases down and then make sure that I've got enough length from my shoulder to where I need to be under the arm, and also so they've got the width as well. So I shall measure it as I go, try it on as I go to make sure I've got the right size. But I'm pretty confident. I think that going down, I may go up to the second size as I go, so the measurements for that, carry on increasing further, because as I say, I went more for, I didn't want it too big. I wanted it smaller, being a sweater, so I could just have that collar coming out. So yeah, that's all I've done so far. So I'm quite excited about it. Living life on the edge. Seeing what comes of it. But yeah, I think a sweater is going to be more wearable, but it's going to be a light, not a heavy one, but warm because of the alpaca being in it. So I've got a long way to go on that one. So yeah, call back next week for the next thrilling episode of Cantina Make This Work. I'm sure I can. It's just raglan increases. What could go wrong? She says. Well, talking about what could go wrong, let's talk about the video that I uploaded, my last video uploaded, which was the college days slipover that I wanted to lengthen because it was quite short and I prefer my things longer. Now, I've realised when I was going through the comments, I realised 2 people picked up on something that I had forgotten that was vital and I should have known it. And that was, I said it was a top-down slipover, and it wasn't. It was a bottom-up slipover. Hence why it took so much unravelling, because it just didn't want to unravel until I got like the cast off. What I thought was the cast off was cast on. So I got past that, and then I thought, that's fine, because once I get to the ribbon, that'll be easier, and it wasn't. And so it wasn't until I got to the main part of the stitching that it was actually easier, and it just came off. But yeah. But as soon as the first person said, Tina, that's a bottom up sweater, that's not top down, I could just picture myself knitting it. I thought, yes, you're right. I remember getting up to that bit and start thinking, is this going to be long enough and everything? So yes, but it just proves it can be done. It takes a long time and you wish you hadn't started it, but I'm definitely glad that I did pull that back and gave the extra length onto that slip over. So it turned out well, despite me, not because of me. I don't know, you think you remember something and then totally wrong. So yes, that happened this week, but it turned out well and I'm really pleased with the length it is now, so I'm glad I did that. So the only other thing I wanted to talk to you about was I have nearly finished my book and I've really enjoyed this one, so I thought I'd share it. I've just been struggling. I love reading, I've always loved reading, but for the past over a year probably, I've just really struggled to get into books, and I know it's all me and how I'm feeling rather than the books. But my mum gave me this one and she said, yeah, I quite enjoyed it, it's okay, this one. So she wasn't overly enthusiastic about it, but it's just been the right book at the right time for me, I think. So it's called Daughters of Cornwall and it's by Fern Britton. I started a Fern Britton years ago when she first started actually writing books, because she was a TV presenter first. And I was disappointed and didn't get very far with it. So I said, oh, I'll take it and have a look, because it's Cornwall. As soon as anything says Cornwall on it, it's like, yes, I'll try it. But I've really enjoyed this one. It's set over 3 timelines. It's about one person. So we start off in 1918, Clara, and she's just a young teenager, about a 17-year-old, 16, 17-year-old teenager. And she's starting off in poor circumstances, and then it's from her journey where she goes to London, then she ends up in Cornwall, and it's about her life and who comes into her life, and then it jumps backwards and forwards. It's one of those ones that jumps around, but it's easy to follow. There's not a lot of characters. It's all very much just the close people around the family. So we go from 1918 to 1947, and that is the time when she's married, she's got children, and we're in the Second World War now. we start off in the First World War, then in the Second World War, then her children are going into the war, and then it's the present day. So we have the story of Clara's daughter, and also Clara's granddaughter at the end, and it's the people revolving around them. And it's just a book that I've picked up and I can just read big chunks of it and not want to put it down. And it's not, I don't want to missell it. Because like I say, my mum said, yeah, it's okay. Sort of nothing special. I enjoyed it, it's okay. But I think, like I said, it's the right book with me. It's easygoing, but it's interesting. It goes all around the world in different places, different things going on. I like the voice of the author. I like Clara. She's a complex character, and she doesn't always make the choices you want her to make, but you understand why she's making those choices. So that's okay. So yeah, I would recommend this book if you just want a light summer read that's a family saga basically, and not only set in Cornwall, but it's set in Burma, France, London. It travels around different places. So yeah, that is one I have been enjoying. So I'll definitely pick up another Fern Britton now. And hopefully she is an author that I will enjoy, because she's written quite a few books. So it means I'll have quite a few that I can enjoy through the summer. So that is what I have been up to. So here in the UK, because it's school holidays, obviously we have got rain every day. Sorry to all the parents trying to find things to do with their kiddies. So yeah, we literally have to go out there and make the most of what we got when we've got it. But it's nice to have the rain. But like I said before, let's just have it in the evening, at night. We don't need it right in the middle of the day. I managed to get my grass cut because I knew we were going to have a week of rain. So I cut my grass on Friday, and sure enough, within an hour it started raining. So yeah, not much is being done outside at the moment, but at least it's not really hot here. But we just got to make the most of it, haven't we? And just enjoy what we've got when we've got it. And when the rain comes, we just got to stay inside and craft. What more can you do? So take care. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you again next week. Bye for now.